Oh, nice. Hello. Uh, it can get really annoying for a minute. I have to find out if this works. Let's close that. And let's open it again. Let's see. Are we? We are live. Smashing. Right. We're live. So, you deserve an explanation. What I'm supposed to be doing is making some videos, but I'm cutting it very fine. Normally I have a little interjection between monthly movies each month. That's literally how it works and how I set it up. But what is it? The 28th? Yeah. So I'm cutting it properly fine. So I'm going to review this film, Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, live on stream. Because why not? It's going to be a very simple video. It doesn't look very good. I'm pretty sure that's the webcam. Yeah, it doesn't look very good. But we're improvising. Monthly movies will come out. Probably going to film it this afternoon. It will come out. But there's nothing I can do about me struggling with being able to sit down for half an hour and speak to a camera. And my white blind is open. Usually I close it for this. But it's impromptu. You can see way more, actually, which is weird. Right, let's get into it. I've got the ultimate dual monitor set up here. I've got my old Mac for the notes. Right. So we're jumping in with the negatives, as you would a review. It takes a while. I think actually, fucking hell, this is gonna be dreadful. You already knew that. Yeah. So hopefully you clicked on this stream because you know about this shit, this Bridget Jones stuff. But if you don't, well, damn, that's your fault. Anyway, this is number 4, I think. Let's get into it. So yeah, the first negative is it takes a while to get into the emotional core of the movie. I wrote, I understand that bringing back this franchise means sticking to its core of a rom-com to some extent, but I do think that it hangs about a bit in the first half with Leo Woodall's character. Yes, it's part of the plot, but by the end it feels insignificant. Now, what do I mean by that? Probably something. Probably. Yeah, so, there is some stuff, there's some very emotional stuff happening throughout the second half of this film, which was like the important bit of the film. But we don't, unfortunately, get to see much of that at all in the first half or half hour. See, this is why I shouldn't stream, because it's just shit. I can't cut all this out. Believe it or not, most if not all of my videos are like an hour long before I chop them down. I mean, you probably can. Anyway, so yeah, it felt unnecessary, I suppose, is my point there, which I think is a good point. Well done, me. Now, let's go on to point number 2, the final point in the negatives, because I thought this movie was excellent. I wish we got to hear a bit more about her dad's death. Yeah, we're jumping on the deep end. Bridget's dad dies in this movie. No, not in the movie. Before the movie. And I wrote, this would probably have put it in contention for the saddest movie of all time if there was too much on the subject. But I do wish we got to hear a little bit more about it, as it's only really mentioned in the first 10 minutes and then seemingly forgot about. And I think I made a good point. I think I always make good points, because, I'm a legend. But, yeah, I just do wish we got to hear a little bit more on the topic. We don't. Is that unfortunate? Yeah, maybe. But who cares? Well, me, because I wrote about it. Alright, we're going to move on to the romantic relationship with Chiwetel Ejiofor feels a little bit forced. Yes, that's a name. Chiwetel Ejiofor. Um, yeah, it's quite difficult to read that. So, what did I write? I said I put this in the mix because I think he's a good love interest, and I think the ending is amazing, but the relationship feels like it comes out of nowhere near the end. This was the only thing in the mix, even. Uh, so yeah, pretty much this romantic relationship comes about at the very, very end of the movie. Very, very end, like 15 minutes till the end, probably. That's just a guess, but I think I'm right. Uh, and yeah, I think he's a good love interest, but did it feel a bit unnecessary? Or not unnecessary? Sorry, forced. Yes, it did, and that's absolutely fucking tragic. But you know, all right. Moving on to the good. It keeps its cheeky sense of humor. You need a cheeky sense of humor. I say, if you take yourself seriously, you failed. Well, deep. I know. Right, what did I write about this? This movie does have a lot of emotion, but it keeps its original sense of humor in a very natural way. That's one of the big problems with writing a dramedy, which yes, I would consider this a dramedy. Dramedy. It's difficult to blend the comedy with the drama in a natural way, which is something I think this movie does excellently. Yeah, it does something which a lot of movies very, very much struggle to do. Um, with some of the emotional moments, there's still comedy in there in those scenes, which, if you've seen many dramedies, you will know, uh, is something that they seem to very much struggle doing a lot. Um, now the problem, like, is you get an emotional moment and then someone farts, or that was a yeah, basically that, or like someone says something silly, and it just breaks the tension. But this movie does it the way I believe it should be done, with it does it with intention, or it does it within the emotion, which is something that I think is brilliant, and these sorts of things do miss. Um, if I ever stream again, I'm planning it out. This isn't going very well. I mean, I'm not even using OBS. I haven't touched it. Anyway, let's move on. Uh, my next point on the positive is um is Bridget's further progression in life. I wrote on this subject a big reason as to why I think this and the third movie work while the second doesn't. Yeah, I thought the second one. There's four of these. I thought the second one was shit. You'll find out in monthly movies. Um, it's because the second movie was very shortly after the first. It can feel as though it was retreading aspects of the first film, but these recent two are revisiting Bridget in different points of her life, making it much more refreshing. And that is an immaculate point and unbelievably true. So yeah, just excellent. But yeah, I haven't recorded it yet. Even I'm slacking. I said I'm going to do it today. I think earlier. Uh, yeah. The second film doesn't work at all. Uh, it I mean, there's lots of issues with it. It's not just the fact that it takes place so soon after the first film. There's like going to prison for drug smuggling. That was stupid. But they get better as we go forward, and I think that is to do with the fact that we're seeing Bridget in different periods of her life. And that is an amazing point. And before we move on, because I'm live and I sort of get the ability to mess about a bit. I'm going to check the stream on my phone again and see if it works. Hey, uh, trippy shit in that. Huh. I don't know why I'm so entertained by this. All right. There was quite some delay on it though. But then I guess that's just the nature of doing this shit. Alright. What's my next point? I can't remember. Can you? Hopefully. Daniel's story. Yes. What did I write on this? Hugh Grant's character of Daniel makes a return in this film where he's come back to England after faking his own death. I think that's what happened, at least. We never find out. His romantic life with Bridget is no more, but he has become good friends with her, babysitting her kids, also teaching them how to play poker and make a dirty bitch. But we all need those valuable life lessons at some point. And going to Bridget in times of trouble. Throughout the film, we see him discuss his son and his desire to be with him. And at the end of the film, we see that they've reunited, and that the apple never falls far from the tree. Yeah, I'm such a good writer. Yeah. So this again ties into it being more of an emotional film this time. It does that very, very well. Yeah, basically. I am I'm on a roll this stream, but I am enjoying being live. I might do it more. All right, so that was that. Um. Yeah. So what am I moving on to next? Bridget's son's grief is my next point. It's a big one. All right. I'm almost certain it won't, but I truly believe the depiction of her son's grief in this film and the poignant discussion it brings up deserves some kind of award recognition. We're now out of award season. I can confirm it. This movie got no award recognition in any way. As we find out early on in the film, 4 years prior to the events of this film, Mark Darcy passed away. This somewhat takes a back seat for the first half of the film, but it eventually becomes the main focus of the film. We see throughout the first half of the film Bridget's son struggling with the idea that there's an art with the idea of, is there an afterlife? There we go. I did it. Is my dad got, or is my dad gone forever? But during a school camping trip sequence, we get to see a beautiful conversation between him and Chiwetel Ejiofor. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. If not, poor cringe. Where he explains to Bridget's son, because I'm just saying Bridget's son, so I can't remember his name. That matter cannot be destroyed, only created, or something like that. I'm no scientist, but the gist of it is that Mark will be somewhere out there forever. It's a very beautiful scene. This story ends with another very beautiful scene at the school's Christmas talent show, where Bridget's son sings the song that Mark sang him before bed while he was still alive, which is arguably the most emotional point of the film. I'm excellent at this. Yeah. So that was that. I don't think I need to go into any more detail on that. Honestly, I think out of everything that I said, I put that point very well. Hang on. I get the liberties to fuck about. We're live. I need to check if my microphone is working because it's quite quiet. It's telling me that it's on, but you know. Yeah, we're looking good. Yeah. Okay. So what's the next point? The final point. Everyone, the final point. Alright, is the ending. It was my favourite bit of the movie. Everyone likes good ending. After the very emotional talent show, Bridget and the teacher get together, and then we jump forward to New Year's Eve of the next year, where Bridget is hosting a New Year's party. As I said earlier, Daniel is reunited with his son. Bridget's son is wearing Mark's jumper from the opening of the first film. Very emotional moment. And all seems to be well. Everyone is happy now. We got a nice scene between Bridget and her friends from the first 3 films. And then after the party ends, Bridget puts her kids to bed and then goes to bed herself. We see her struggle to unzip her dress, something we saw earlier in the film. And then Chiwetel Ejiofor's character comes in and helps her. They hug, and then we fade to the title card at the end. And through the credits, we get the classic legacy sequel trope of pictures and clips from the first 3 films. Which brings me to a point I wrote about nowhere. I think this will be the end. I don't think we need, or there will be, a 4th and 5th even installment. Yeah. So I will now give you my final thoughts, which are titled Final Thoughts. Because, I'm a legend, and I'm absolutely zooming through this. Alright, an excellent piece of filmmaking. This should be the end. It's the right place to leave this story behind. Shit, I did write about it. When I look back on this franchise, assuming they end it here, I think I'll look back on it as a trilogy, because you don't miss out on much if you skip the second film. And when you do skip that second one, it's a very well-flowing trilogy, looking at Bridget in 3 separate chapters of her life. Those, people, were my thoughts on Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy 2025 release. Will I ever go live to review a movie again? No, probably not. Will I ever go live again? Yeah, probably. I mean, I put it in the review playlist because no one's going to see it otherwise. In fact, no one has seen it as of yet, so I could just get rid of it. No one would know. Alright, have I got anything else to say? Yes. So, with these reviews, I'm going to start giving the films ratings. And this movie, the first movie with a rating and the first movie to be reviewed live, is getting a 10 out of 10. 10 tens. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, so those are basically my thoughts on the film. I'm putting my socks on now. But, I could stay live for a bit. Only been here for 17 and a half minutes. Feel like I'm zooming through it a little bit. But I have nothing else to talk about. Alright. I mean, it's been very dull, this stream, I don't think. Maybe I should try and up the ante and come back. I'm sure, 0.5% of a person would appreciate it. Alright. We don't need this anymore. You know what's absolutely beautiful about making this video, or doing this stream, is it is the last time I can ever think of a use for this hunk of junk. This old Mac. It's a MacBook Pro from God, probably about as old as me. Yeah. I'm not going to drop my age. No, but it's probably about as old as me. A load of brands just got some marketing as well. So a whopping 0 people. Yeah. Alright. That's basically it. Well, there's no need for me to ever go live again, unless I realise I need to make a video by the end of 2 videos by the end of the month, even on the 28th. At least it's not February. That would be dreadful. So yeah, that's about it. I will see you in monthly movies, and then you know what? I'm gonna do some market research and get some settings and shit, and I think I will go live again. it looks abysmal. Like, let me pull it up on my phone again, because I just quite like doing so. Yeah, it doesn't look very good, but uh, it. I mean, it looks way worse on here. Let me turn the sound off. It looks way worse up here, but yeah, it's not amazing. I mean, you're not gonna get much of it. Yeah, so that's about it. How long are we going for? Is this gonna make it the longest bit of content on my channel? That would be absolutely tragic. Maybe. Look, if I can drag it out past 2047, then it will be the longest piece of content on my channel, and it will have taken up no storage. Ha! I always knew I had it in me. To do what? I'm not sure. Yeah. Alright, so, well, there we go! We've done it! Thank you for watching, if you watch this later on. That's about it. There we go, my mouse is back. Yeah, I've got nothing really more to say. Bye!